Welcome back to Strangeville, gang. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin Strange. I'm a 20-year veteran of the underground entertainment scene. I'm a cartoonist, I'm a novelist, and I'm an independent filmmaker. And I'm here today to share my love of comic books with you. And today, we're looking at Marvel Comics by way of Dan Slott and Mike Kazalia. The Ren and Stimpy show in space from, I believe it's 1995, 93 even. At the height of the Ren and Stimpy madness on Nickelodeon, one of the seminal television shows of the 1990s that shaped the warped and deranged brain piece of one Kevin Strange, little strange man, little Kevin Strange piece, and many millions more like me who enjoyed the shenanigans of Ren and Stimpy. John Kay's seminal work, and here we have the comic book version by Marvel Comics and Dan Slott. But before we get to that, we are marching towards 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel, gang. We're almost there. We're less than 200 subscribers away, growing daily. And when we hit that precious, sweet, coveted little 1,000-piece, I'm going to release my 164-page full-color outlaw underground offensive horror comedy masterpiece, Kevin Strange's Space Worms. It's a space theme here. We've been doing Space Force. We did T-Bird and Throttle in space, and now we're doing Ren and Stimpy in space, and we're hawking that Space Worms. Gang, they call it in the corporate field, they call that synergy. And we, once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to put out a free PDF version of the 164-page epic graphic novel piece, Kevin Strange's Space Worms, for free up on the Patreon. You can hit the link in the description to the Patreon for only $3 a month. You get access to 20 years worth of my comic books, novels, and feature-length films. I'm one of those prolific douchebags that just keeps making more and more and more art. I never run out of ideas. There's so many Strangeville stories now. I don't even know where to begin. We're going to begin right here with Kevin Strange's Space Worms, just as soon as we hit that 1,000-piece. Also consider becoming a member of the channel for only $2.99 a month. That gets you access to all of our pre-recorded shows, sometimes a week, sometimes weeks, sometimes months in advance as we continue to bank shows here on the channel. Consider becoming a member and subscribing to the Patreon. All those proceeds goes to help us make more comics for you and make more comic book review shows such as this, to upgrade our equipment, better cameras, better microphones, better office spaces. Give me my stapler. That's my stapler. Ren and Stimpy. I find it exceedingly ironic that Twitter spaz for the ages, famous Twitter meltdown, leftoid Trump derangement syndrome freak Dan Slott was tasked to write Ren and Stimpy for Nickelodeon and John Kay, when John Kay has been notoriously, legendarily canceled, completely torpedoed, had his career torpedoed forever, once and forevermore, gang, by a woman. It seems old John Kay, if you don't know the story, you can look it up. Probably Wikipedia would tell you a better version of the story than fucking weird-ass Kevin Strange, but you're here watching my video, so I'm going to tell it to you my way. And if I'm wrong, roast me in the comments. You tell me. You're probably all expert John Kay, Ren and Stimpy historians, gang, if you're here watching a Ren and Stimpy video on the YouTubes. So you tell me. You jump into my comments and you tell me how wrong I am about the events the way I'm about to describe them, okay? John Kay, somewhere along the, well, he's been accused of all of the bad things, all manner of the badness in his career, including a hostile work environment, being I believe physically. I think he's been accused of like being physically violent at work, like throwing chairs and like slamming shit on desks and stuff, trying to whip his crew in line to make the Ren and Stimpy cartoon. But most egregious of all, gang, was when he. This is the trend, the trendy, the post Me Too trendy outrage on social media these days for the women folk is to say he groomed me when I was a child. I was a mere 27 years old. I didn't know better. I was so young. He was so old. He was an ancient 29. And he groomed me. I'm exaggerating, but yeah, I guess John Kay, when he was in his 30s, started corresponding with these fangirls, a pair of 16-year-olds, and eventually they came out to San Diego or San Francisco or fucking LA or wherever it was that he was making comics, and they more or less said, we're fans and we want to be animators, we want to be cartoonists. John Kay moved him in with him, I guess, once they turned 18. He had a relationship with one or both of them. One of them stuck, and I believe she went to work at the studio with John Kay, where they worked together for years and years and years and years and years, and she had no problem with it. Didn't seem to be affected by the grooming in any way. She has an animation career, became rich and successful in LA in animation, and it wasn't until she aged out, as they say, and John Kay kicked her to the curb, brought in a younger woman, and suddenly she blabbed to the tabloids and anyone that would listen and all over social media that she had been groomed by the evil, dastardly old man, John Kay, where I think he had already been fired off of Ren and Stimpy for all those other crazy shenanigans of just not being able to run a studio without screaming and yelling and throwing shit and breaking chairs and slamming desks and making threats. But his career was completely torpedoed and ruined forevermore when he had the audacity to break up with his girlfriend of years and years and years. So that is that's the Kevin Strange condensed version of John Kay's cancellation during the height of the Me Too era. And it's ironic to me that leftoid male feminist loser Dan Slott wrote on John Kay's comic book because, peas in a pod, right? You scratch a male feminist and find a rapist, right? Let's get into it here. Commander Hook and Cadet Stimpy versus the Croco Men from Planet Z. Hey, Space Cadets, get ready for another in-your-face epic of interstellar espionage. Pop, he's got like a little pop gun there. We got the Croco Men. The Ren and Stimpy show created by, what is his name? Crick Falusi. By John Crick Falusi. No wonder he goes by John Kay. You tell me how to pronounce his name in the comments, gang. You guys are the John Kay experts. You guys are the Ren and Stimpy experts. Space Command. Protectors of intergalactic moral decency, masters of space, time, height, width, and girth. And this is the Space Command HQ, which is like on this platform coming up from Earth. It's pretty cool. They do. He does Mike here. Pretty sparse on the stars in the sky. I go crazy when I do. Let me find you an example of when Kevin Strange does space. Oh, that's the wrong one. Wrong Strangeville comic, gang. Is this the right one? That's my outer space. I put the galaxies and the twinkling stars. I go all out for my space. They're in the Turbo Nexus, by the way, which is what all this grid, this blue grid They're in in outer space in the Turbo Nexus. Don't ask me what the Turbo Nexus is. Couldn't tell you. Get me Commander Hoek and Cadet Stimpy. Oh, here we got some more. And when the very things are placed in peril, it doesn't take long till a certain call goes out across the void. What is it, Chief? Another spine-tingling undercover mission for those masters of disguise? Darn tootin', missy. It's a fraught-filled flight into the gaping jaws of jeopardy. An intrigue-ridden angst spasm of intrepitude that only those two kings of camouflage could pull off. You say this out loud. Especially after you've had a couple of fucking boxes of wine, like I have. Old Dan Slott's got some tongue twisters here. You called, Chief? Good disguises, yes. Don't worry about feeling us, Ian? We've been observing you in secret for weeks. Why, just yesterday I was your French maid, and Stimpy was your steak of roll-on deodorant. It's his accent. It's throwing me off. He's sounding out his Ren's accent here. Well, that explains a lot. Oi, oi, Monsieur Stinky Pete's. Belay that taunting, Commander. Now about your mission. Our intelligence believes that the Croco men of Planet Z are up to no good. We need you to hide amongst them and beard them in their very lair. Beard them, huh? In short, men, you must become Croco men. And so the rigorous training in Croco culture begins. The scintillating struggle with semantics. Hooked on Crocophonics. Ignarg ka fizz. Translation. Where do you keep the silverware? Snap, 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 Croco pop, pop, Croco pop, snap, Croco pop. The culinary crafts of Croco cuisine. Skipper, I think I ate the professor. Gilligan. The mundane mastery of modern day media. Let's schlorg again like we did last summer. The dangerous dexterity of desirable dance steps. Training room. Say, Commander Hook, do you think we're really ready for this? I don't know, Cadet Snippy. Croco men! Zuck! Blast them! Yes, there's your answer, pal. Now let's kick some Croco butt. And up go our heroes. Rocket towards Planet Z in the Space Command Spimomonic Stealth Sphere. That's this thing here. Again, very sparse on the stars here. I like the boldness of that. Just have it be black with a few sprinkles of stars here and there. And it's a sphere, so this is literally how much space they have inside this ship. Well, at warp speed with 600 light years to go, we should get there in 12 more hours. Will you look at the time? Lunch, oh joy. You remembered to pack a lunch, didn't you, Captain? Oh, pshaw, Ren. It was right there on track itinerary. It was right there on the itinerary. Pack a lunch, but not to worry. We can share. Okay. Oh man, he's gonna do the whole thing upside down, isn't he? That's cold soup for all you laymen out there. Lumber garlic gazpacho. Ugh. What are you doing? Don't open that in here. Where's that stupid Planet Z? We should be there by now. That's it. I'm turning this space sphere around. Crash. Ook. Yes, right. Well, now that is the only way to fly. And stop dragging your head, man. You're a Croco man now. And I am the Eggman. Goo goo goo. These are some really cheesy Dan Slott jokes. 1993. A foreshadowing of the spasmatic he would become later in life. So it's just, it's just your standard goofy Ren and Stimpy adventure here. This is their cost. This is their disguise. Terrible disguise. And the ending is really funny, though. Cripes, man! What have we done? We've destroyed Space Command! Gee, Croco Bob, I thought that was the point. I think I heard them over there. Queek, man! It's the Chief! Get out of your suit! Ha! Take that, you Croco scum! Had enough, base villain? Oh, Chief, didn't see you there. As you can see, we have caught the Croco men responsible and skinned them alive. Yes, sir. Beaten up Croco men and not empty Croco suits, sir. Good work, men. In fact, I'd give you medals if you weren't putrid, slime-sucking earthlings. And they pop their heads off, and they're actually Croco men. Ah, prepare to die. You're Croco men? And then Ren and Stimpy pull their heads off. Ah, we're really Croco men too. Double agents sent to test your loyalty. Yeah, well, we really are Earthlings. Yeah, well, we're mice. Yeah, well, we're cats. Yeah, well, we're dogs, horses, yaks, mud skippers, logs, presidents, movie stars. Stooges. Ha ha, we're really Ren and Stimpy the whole time. Hey, I thought I was going to end up being you. Me too. And then they try to rip their heads off. Yeah, well, we're really... Oops. Guess we really were those last guys made of skull heads. Ren and Stimpy run off. And that's the end. So that's Dan Slott by way of John Kay, by way of Nickelodeon, by way of Marvel Comics, as cultures clash and collide and careers soar and end and crash and all kinds of it's a crazy industry, gang. The comics industry is comics industry might be the craziest industry there is as far as personalities go. And guys like Dan Slott and Donny Cates and Eric Larson and guys like that, like they just go unchecked. Like Marvel Comics doesn't care. Image Comics doesn't care. They're just allowed to like be as absolutely unhinged and insane as they want, as long as their politics are leftoid and as long as their target are conservative white dudes or white, I guess, women, as long as they're conservative women, whatever. These guys just go unchecked. And I really think it's the issue. And I say this all the time. The issue is that social media itself is it's a dangerous tool, and it's often wielded by mentally unstable people. And I believe that social media exacerbates mental illness, and it makes people that would otherwise maybe be able to contain their crazy, it makes them act out and lose their shit. And there's no like warning labels on social media the way there are like cigarette packs, harmful, may cause cancer. I think social media needs warning labels. Not that warning labels like do anything for the crazy people that are already there. Like a cigarette smoker doesn't care about the warning label, but the idea is like maybe a kid that would otherwise maybe pick up the pack of cigarettes might be dissuaded by the information on the pack. Maybe not, probably more often than not, no, but maybe it helps a little bit. And maybe social media, if it was if the sort of consequences or behavioral behavioral changes that can be caused by social media were clearly presented when you sign up for a social media platform, were present, then maybe guys like Dan Slott, Eric Larson, Donnie Cates, and et al. Those are just the examples I use because they're comics that I read. But you've got, Evan Dorkin, you've got Ramon Villabos, you've got so many people in comics are just unhinged and unchecked and deranged and allowed to just get away with all of it. And maybe if there were warning labels on these shits, maybe people wouldn't be so quick to jump on, because at this point in our culture, like, there's no consequences. Like, we present no behavioral consequences to hanging out on social media. It's just the thing we do. It's like breathing or drinking water. Like, of course you drink water. Of course you have all social medias. Of course you're terminally online and spend all of your time virtue signaling and doing like performative morality fucking plays on social media. No, that shit's weird. That shit's fucked up, and it draws out the mental illness in the worst of the worst. So that's what I have to say about Marvel Comics Ren and Stimpy in space. And speaking of space, be sure, if you like these rants and ravings from your old boy Kevin Strange, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the video. Turn on notifications so you find out as soon as one of these drunken rants goes live. And as soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers, Kevin Strange's Space Worms, the epic full-color 164-page outlaw underground comic, horror comedy, coming-of-age splatterpunk story, will be free to download on the Patreon. Consider becoming a member of the channel, where you get access to all of our videos as soon as they hit weeks, sometimes months in advance of the general public, and all of the proceeds from those generous donations goes towards the continuation of this channel and the continuation of crazy Strangeville comics like Kevin Strange's Space Worms, like Too Many Dabs, like Death to Strangeville, like The Wizard of Ganj, and so on and so forth. And so until next time, gang, I hope I see you at the dollar bin. And remember to keep on digging.